Wait, really? Zero profit?
Yeah, in the last 6 months, we have not made any money. Now, there's been a couple months where we've made a few $1,000s. There's been a couple months where we've lost a few $1,000s, and there's been a couple months where we have broke dead even. So for me to actually make money at my car dealership, my monthly running expenses, they're between $41,000 and $45,000, and I get a lot of flack about how much it costs me to run my dealership in there. They think that I know I show you my lot. I mean, we got a little gravel lot. I'm a small used car dealer, but if we sell 50, 60, 70 cars a month, it takes a lot of manpower to actually get through that many cars. So we have a sales manager, we have a title clerk who also does sales. We have my mechanic, Alex. You've seen him a lot on the channel. We have another guy who works on cars and does a lot of the transport stuff, and he'll also double and come back in and work on sales. We have another guy who helps transport. That's payroll. I got 5 people on payroll. That's before my wife and myself are paid. And we have our building, which I don't own. We lease our building, so we have that. We have insurance that we have to pay. We have lots of things that are going on behind the scenes. A lot of licensing. We have bonding. What else? What am I forgetting? I mean, electricity. Everything. Every time we walk in the door and turn on the lights, our running expenses $2,000 roughly every single day. That's what it costs. So if I don't sell more than 2 cars in one day, then I'm not making money on that day. So it's been $0 that we made in the last 6 months. So you can just, I mean, you can know that I make on average about $1,000 a car. It's right around that number. So if we're not selling 50, 55, 60 cars in a month, and we're not really making the money to make it worth what we're actually doing at our car dealership. Now, the caveat here is that we hit it huge during tax time. That is, I'll make 25% of all the money that I'll make all year round in about 15 days. And this is when people get their tax refund checks and they clear out my lot. I try to have about 150 cars, and we'll sell every single one of them within a month. That's how crazy it gets, and that's how much money we make just in that short amount of time. So that time period right there makes the whole rest of the year worth it. If it was that we would just break even every single month, except for the 2 months that cover tax time, and we hit it big, then it's fine, because we still make enough money just in those 2 months. That's February and March to make it a successful business for myself and my wife. Now, we don't need a lot of money. We're not trying to be filthy rich. We're not trying to grow anymore. We're very happy with what we have. We don't have any debt. And it's a place where me and my wife can feel very comfortable with the amount of money that we make. No, we're not going to be multi millionaires, and that's okay. But it's 6 months, zero money, doesn't feel good. And we haven't ever had this experience before. I think this market is very, very difficult to navigate. Maybe I'm doing a lot of stuff wrong. I'm sure you'll tell me about it down in the comments, but I feel like we're still running the operation how we need to run it. Now, I mean, talk to me in 4 months from now, and if we have 4 loser months, then maybe I'll change my tune. But I'm happy about how my business is being run, how my team is handling everything day to day. I'm happy with the amount of cars that we have coming in right now. I'm not really happy about the amount of cars we're selling, but I'm not upset about it, because I feel like right now in this car market, the way that I'm hearing everyone else doing, the way I'm reading the numbers, the data from a lot of these big corporations, I think breaking even is probably top 10% of what other companies in this car market are doing. So break even is something that I'm happy with right now.
What other expenses are there? One of the big ones is advertising. That's $4,000 to $5,000.
Advertising, yeah, we pay $4,000 to $5,000. I thought it was like $3,000.
It went up. Remember all the negotiations and the mess with those 2 in particular that are the big ones. How do you find a good local car auction to go to?
See, this one's a difficult one, because if you're a car dealer and you're going to know about what auctions are around your area. There's not going to be one that surprises you because they're going to knock on your door as soon as you open it. As soon as you open your business, they're trying to find new customers. So a lot of these auctions have people where all they do is just get on the road every day and find dealerships that they can invite to car auctions. We get them all the time. Even now, I've been in business for a long time, but we still have auctions that are around the area. Even if we're already going to the auction, they're just coming in and knocking on our door and say, hey, just want to let you know we have this we have big auction coming up next Tuesday. Want to make sure you're there. Yeah, we're there every single week. Okay, well, I just want to make sure that you're going to be there for this one. Yeah, I get it. So that's the easy one, but you might be talking about as an individual in like a public auction. And what I would say to you is don't go to a public auction. This is the public auctions are where a lot of used car dealers take cars that they don't want because they're trash, and they try to pretty them up so they can dump them on the unsuspecting public. The auctions I go to, they're all for the most part new car dealer trade-ins. So it's a car that someone had, they wanted to upgrade, so they traded it into a dealership, and those are way safer. And these franchise dealers are not trying to slide one over on us. I mean, you could say some of them maybe are, but in most cases they're not. They're just trying to unload inventory that they don't want. But at a public auction, you have small independent used car dealers that are trying to dump their garbage. Franchise dealers would never take their stuff to public auctions because it's more of a hassle. They don't want to sell to the public. They want to just get it wholesale done, one and done. It's finished. So it's going to be rare that you're going to see a franchise dealer actually take stuff to a public auction to dump it. So you're not going to see trade-ins, which are the highest quality of used car at an auction that you're going to have available to you. So I would just say stay away from public auctions, unless I will give it the caveat, unless it's like this is a hard word for me to say, municipal.
I did it.
Yeah. Unless it's a municipal government auction where you can actually buy cars that were in fleets that were well maintained, and it's just they're getting to the highest point of their mileage. So now the city, the state, they're actually dumping those, and they're allowing the public to buy them. I'm not scared of that for an individual. You can go buy that kind of stuff, but stay away from public auctions. Stay away from public auctions. I can't say it enough. They're the dumping ground of the worst of the worst of the worst of cars from dealers that know they're trash and they're trying to screw you on it.
Have you and Alex ever bid on the same vehicle unknowingly?
Yep, we've done that. But the good thing about it is that all the auctioneers know who Alex is, and all the auctioneers know who I am, and they know that we're both bidding for the same place. So they'll only take one of our bids. And that's one thing about being in the business for as long as we have and buying as many cars as we do. I would guess that at just about all the auctions we go to, we're probably in the top 5% of buyers because of just the volume of cars that we buy. I mean, we're still call us a small used car dealership, but we're still a lot bigger than most car dealers out there as far as the volume that we do. So we buy a lot of cars. So all the auctioneers, they know who we are, and they're not going to. I'll say most of them. There are some shady auctioneers out there too. But most auctioneers that at least that we deal with at the sales they're pretty up and up. So I'm not concerned about them running us up against each other if we ever do that. But when the times that we have bid on the same car, they'll look at us and say, "Aren't y'all together?" And they kind of make fun of us because they know that we're bidding on the same thing. We shouldn't be.
Since your dealership is choosing to price more aggressively, do you find more buyers waiting a bit longer for you to implement those price reductions?
I will tell you one thing about me being on YouTube, and this is a little bit of a side tangent here, is that the customers that we have gotten from YouTube, they're using all my advice against me. So there was a guy that wanted to buy a Honda CRV a couple weeks ago, and it got sold, and he came and bought another vehicle like a week later, and he came up to us and he told us, he said, "Well, I wanted this car over here, but I noticed that it had been sitting for like 10 days, and I knew you were going to drop the price in just a couple days, so I was going to wait you out." And so I don't know how many of the people that actually know where our car dealership is are doing this, But I don't think most customers that don't know us from YouTube know how often we actually change our price. So I'm gonna say, for the most part, no. This is not forcing any buyers to wait us out a little bit, just because they don't know that we're going to lower our prices. But for those of you that are on YouTube and are looking at some of our cars, the answer has been yes. And I'm kind of glad that guy lost that car. Somebody else bought it from before we lowered the price. Just so I can tell the story to say, hey, if you see something you like on my car lot, go buy it, because it might not be there in 2 days.